How are Obama, Christiane Amanpour, Niranjan Takle related? Well, in case you are wondering who this Niranjan Takle is, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. I'll come to that in just a little bit. But first, I thought, why not take a look at whether Obama and Christiane Amanpour have any connects in common? Is there any foundation? Is there a fountain from where they draw their funding? Well, upon a little bit of research, I found a tweet thread from Vijay Patel, which I'm going to give you the link and you can go through that. But there's more interesting stuff that came out after I finished this, and I was doing some other things and said, wait a minute, there is another connect here. There are people who are getting paid. Well, I don't know if they're getting paid or not. Certainly, there are people who are being encouraged to rake up old cases and try to make a sensational story out of it. And that's where Niranjan Takle comes in. You'll know who I am talking about and why I'm talking about this person in just a moment. I just want to tell you the first connection between Obama and the foundation that supports some of his causes. Or let us first even go back and take a look at Christiane Amanpour. You remember this interview now. It's been doing the rounds, and Obama is rumored that he was paid $4 million for this. But let's take a look at who Christiane Amanpour is. She founded a NGO called Committee to Protect Journalism, and guess who funds CPJ? Soros, Ford Foundation, and other NGOs. You can take a look at the details. You'll have to probably watch it on a laptop screen to look at it. She is also a member of another propaganda NGO, International Women's Media Foundation, IWMF, and that too is funded by Soros and Ford Foundation. Now, you may ask me a question. So what is wrong in that? What is wrong with a private foundation funding another NGO such as this XYZ, whatever the alphabet soup that you can think of? There's nothing wrong in that. What is interesting is a company like PGurus. Let's say I create an NGO and I write to them, and basically it'll have to say that, I am the person behind it. Guess how much funding I would get? Zero, zip, nada, kuch nahi. So this is the point. What happened yesterday was there was a full-page ad in Washington Post funded by CPJ and IWMF. So they're not, Christiane Amanpour is not happy with just that one interview that she sat down and had with Barack Hussein Obama. She wants to also fund full-page ads in Washington Post. The last time I remember watching a full-page ad was when Rana Ayub was posted there. It's the same set of characters again and again. And you also look at the other people who participated in that advertisement. All of them are funded by Soros. I don't know what kind of visceral hatred this fellow has for India. That's all I can think of. And now, next person. So Amanpour, QED, proven. Next, let's take a look at Obama. Obama has his own personal NGO called the Obama Foundation. Guess what? He too has received huge funds from the Soros Foundation. And you know him, you may have read recently that Soros has given his $25 billion Open Society Foundation reins to his son, Alex. And you can see here Alexander Soros with Barack Obama. And he says that he has a very personal relationship with Obama and that he has hosted him at home. I have to find out. There is something that Soros has that he is afraid that India/Modi might find out and take him down or something like that. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling you don't go this far. I mean, you try and throw some mud and see if it will stick or not. But I don't know. There is something beyond that. Anyway, so Mr. Rahul Gandhi is also connected with this because why? Salil Shetty, who is the vice president of the Soros Foundation in India, he marched with him in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Not only that, the ecosystem comes together for the same things. Like when the Modi rallies was going on, you saw this Sunita Vishwanath, Hindus for Human Rights. She is present. I think they get paid by presence. I mean, they have to go be present and then have their pictures taken. And then they say, okay, I made my presence. Here, give me my cut. I mean, they are saying that Obama got $4 million to say what he said. Which, two things there. First of all, he doesn't think it is true. Somebody gave him the script and he just read it out. Maybe it was even on his teleprompter. He was one of the few presidents who was completely lost without a teleprompter. So, I mean, you can watch him when he speaks without preparation. He's ooh. I mean, he's worse than me. Let's put it that way. And you have this other guy, Arjun Sethi, another anti-India, anti-Hindu, and another one called Divya Iyer. There was a Zoom conference recently where some people were curious, just joining. I mean, Divya Iyer sounds like a nice name. They joined and they saw the amount of vitriol being poured. And when they started asking some questions, they got kicked out. So these people they know that they are lying. They know that they are building these fake narratives. And when somebody starts questioning them, their response is to kick them out. And I mean, so what are you trying to gain? Oh, the one guy who may not be up to speed on some of your lies, is that the person you are bringing him up on the Zoom calls? I don't know. It is just nutcases is all I can think of. Now, this goes on and on. Only one person, only one individual, Soros, is the one who's funding all these people, and he's also funding IAMC. Now, we are going to the next phase of this presentation. What happened to Niranjan Takle? You might wonder. Well, he too was in DC, and he has been in the shadows. If you go and look at Niranjan Takle, who says that he's a journalist, you look at his work, he has centered most of his work in the recent past on one issue only: the death of a judge in December 2014. His name is Loya. This person rakes it up some years later, and he now goes by the name investigative journalist. He has only investigated one case, as far as I know. He says that he started talking to Loya's family in 2016, and some expressed some doubts about his death. 2014 December, the man passes away. I mean, I can understand it if he, jumps on the story within a few days. Then only you'll get all the fresh evidence and, post-mortem reports and all that stuff. 2 years later, he goes and meets with the family, and then some doubts are expressed. And then another year later, he publishes a story in Caravan. And here we go. That story comes in on 20th November 2017. Remember, see this timeline, guys. 20th November 2016, he meets the family of the deceased judge Loya, who died in 2014. 2016. A year later, he publishes the story in Caravan, and guess what? Immediately Scroll picks it up. And here they start quoting the other guy. I mean, they start quoting the article from Caravan, and also they say that we interviewed this fellow, and that's how this story came about. Echo chamber. Right? After another year, you had, actually I shouldn't say 1 year, this was December 2017, a month later, Loya's son Anuj said that family had no suspicion, because clearly they had reconciled with the death of their father or spouse or whatever, and these people are going and trying to rake and see if there was a story. And then after that, this man writes a book about it, and he has been pitching this now. Where does this end, guys? So our George Soros company guys are now trying to make up stories. If they see somewhere somebody dies, they say, oh, this could be suspicious, especially if it was something they were investigating on either Amit Shah or Modi. These are the two people that everybody seems to want to go after. I don't know what exactly it is that these people have hatred towards them. And more importantly, I don't know what they are afraid of. Both have been in power for about 10 years now, and nothing really has happened. Soros is still happily going about. He's in his 90s, and now probably his son has taken over the reins. He'll be there for another 40, 50 years. But why this hatred towards one country and one individual? If anyone knows the answer to this question, please reply by way of comments. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the